is really going to be horrific.
Well, let's get a little more on that breaking news we were telling you about earlier. That is that 2 Israeli tourists and 1 Egyptian, believed to be their tour guide, were shot dead on Sunday in Alexandria. That's in northern Egypt. A policeman's alleged to have carried out the shooting in the Sawari district, and he is now in custody, according to security sources speaking to the Reuters news agency. Well, we can now go live to Abdelbassir Hassan, who's a BBC reporter based in Cairo. Abdelbassir, thank you very much for joining us. What more can you bring us on this developing story?
Yes, early in this morning we have heard or got news that from Alexandria, northern of Egypt on the Mediterranean Sea, that an incident occurred there while a group of Israelis were visiting the Pompey's site at the city, and a policeman reportedly opened fire on the group, killing 2 Israelis on the spot and wounding a third, while also killing an Egyptian guide, according to reports from the site. The assailant, or the suspected assailant, was arrested and escorted to the police after the incident, and the whole area was cordoned off at the moment by police for further investigations. Of course, more police officers arrived at the area, and pictures from the scene showed ambulances were waiting while 2 people were lying on the ground motionless, while a third was being helped at the time. This is what was reported from the scene until this moment, and there's a BBC reporter or journalist who tried to arrive at the area, but it was still cordoned off till this moment. We have heard that there were reports also about another incident in Sinai, which was categorically denied by police, about more killings in Sinai, but a police source denied these reports later, while we got reports from the borders with Egypt, between Egypt and Israel, that work there was suspended at especially Taba. You know that the Taba crossing is open for Israelis to enter Egypt from without visa since 1979, when the 2 countries signed the peace agreement between them. Israelis can come to Egypt without visa and stay in Sinai, especially in the south of the peninsula. And last year, numbers from the Israeli side said that more than 850,000 Israelis visited Egypt. More than 500,000 of them came from Taba crossings. And earlier this year, Egypt has allowed the Israelis to visit the Red Sea resorts of Hurghada without visa as well, in a bid to promote the Egyptian tourism. The incident, in fact, is not today's incident, is not the first of its kind this year. Earlier this year, on June 3rd, an Egyptian police at the borders between Israel and Egypt killed 3 Israelis as well, which raised some concerns at that time between the 2 sides.
Abdelbassir Hassan in Cairo, thank you so much for bringing us up to date on that developing story. Well, questions have been raised about failures by Israeli intelligence in anticipating the Hamas attack. Earlier, I spoke to our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, to get his assessment on all of that.
Israel's attention was focused primarily on the West Bank as opposed to the Gaza Strip. There's always been an ongoing threat from the Gaza Strip. They'd fired rockets into Israel, into southern Israel, many, many times. But as he rightly said, I don't think the planners, the military strategists, thought that that Hamas would dare do this, or even was capable of such a complex, well-coordinated assault that